Welcome everybody to an interview with. Today I have a man who is hard to describe because I've only spent brief moments with him, but he is quite big in the Fallout community. With me tonight on the set, as represented by this cute plushy little toy which he can't see because we're talking on the PC, is in fact No Respawn. Say hello.
Hello, hello. How are we doing?
Now, if you're not familiar with No Respawn, he is on YouTube and he's pretty damn big with 1,101k. I'm just going to say 111k subs. I probably butchered actually how many you have. And only a
Right.
small, brief amount of videos. 655. I think I beat you on videos.
You
I
really?
think
How
so.
dare you? How dare you? I'm
coming
gonna
out,
check
coming
Social
out of
Blade.
nowhere.
Look at that. Lowballing me in the first few seconds of an
I,
interview. How
oh,
dare
I
you?
actually do. I have 823. I did not know that. You beat me on
I mean,
subscribers and in the YouTube space. That's all
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
counts.
Yeah, that's true.
So you are not familiar with this topic, and neither is the audience because I have not been able to record these videos in a while. But I'm just going to sit down with you for a little bit, and we're going to talk some Fallout because who doesn't love Fallout? And the fact that since the last time I did one of these, which was with Tonic, which if you follow the arrow, and I'm talking to the audience now, but if you, because an arrow is not going to magically appear on your computer, but if you follow the arrow in the top right corner, you can check out the first interview with Tonic, which was a lot of fun. Go check out T Diddy. He's a fun little guy. He probably actually wouldn't like me calling him little, but no respawn. Do you want to say hello and just give a brief kind of like who you are to everybody, just in case, even though everybody knows who you are, but
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
anyway.
sure, sure, sure. So I'm No Respawns. I've been doing basically YouTube videos since I even checked we were talking about this before. So my first YouTube video was in November 2015. I started on Fallout 4 content. Just kind of just sort of fell into it and just started uploading videos because they're fun. And then obviously when Fallout 76 dropped, I then moved over to that. I also make mods as well, sort of. I mean I do make mods,
Yes.
but I'm just very, very lazy and don't update them. Speaking of, I have a lot of work to do. So yeah,
I do believe you're responsible for cleaning up one of the settlement homesteads in Fallout 4.
yeah. So I've done a few. I have actually on my to-do list is fixing a few of my mods because a couple of them have errors. But yeah. So I've done Sanctuary, Red Rocket, which is one of my favorites. Um, what's the other one? I've done Jamaica Plains. I've done a mod on what was the one I did recently? Croup Manor. I've done more than that as well. I always forget. I've done quite a few mods. So I do start
Yeah,
my mods. They're very, very like I deliberately make the mods in a way that they don't need external assets. So for example, people on the PlayStation can use them. They don't require DLC. I just kind of make them quite vanilla. They're fun.
a true connoisseur of helping the community because I hate having to download mods for Fallout 4. And it's just like, nah, you can't. You wish you've seen it on a YouTube video. Can't download it on the PS4. It just doesn't exist. Get out of here. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, because basically I started on PS4. I'm a PC, obviously PC
Yes.
YouTuber now, but like back when I started, I was on PS4, and so like I made a very active point, even when I moved over to PC, to make sure that PlayStation, Sony users in general can actually use my content and also my builds as well. So that caused a little bit of drama back in the Fallout 4 days because people got annoyed at me that I wasn't using like Place Anywhere or like
Yeah.
external assets. So I'm like, no, no, just use the vanilla stuff. It's fine. It's cool. We used mods eventually, but only mods that Sony users could use.
Yes, so just so it's compatible for all. But as we are talking Fallout, and we've now mentioned more than just 76, but Fallout 4 as well. Let's go for the easiest question on my
Hmm.
list. I have a list of a few, but the easiest one on my list is favorite Fallout game. Hit me. Come on.
Fallout 4. Now, the reason why I'm going to say Fallout 4, and the reason being is because it's twofold. To be honest, it is the one that obviously launched my YouTube career, and I
Yes.
would go as far as say changed my life as well because I actually used my YouTube channel to then switch careers and do what I do now, which is grand. Um, but also just generally like I very vividly remember when it was announced, and I think they announced it at E3 in June, and they were like, oh, it's coming out in November, and just the whole build up to it,
Yep.
and then the entire year that they had afterwards when they deliberately staggered everything, so all of the content dropped over the course of 1 year. It was just the most amazing 12 to 18 months ever. I remember I actually quit my job just before it dropped so I could play it without having to worry about
Oh
work.
man, I remember the day Fallout 4 went live. I went to a
Oh,
midnight launch to get it, and because at the time I had saved, I had pre-ordered it, so I had the thing. But at the time, I was like, I'm going to go to this thing with my mates, and then I'm going home. And I live by car about 10 minutes away from my local game, walking 45 at a minimum, and I don't drive. So I was like, right, got to get down there at this time. And I stood there and I walked home. And on the way home, I walked down the middle of this double road partition where the lights are, and the police pulled over and like, you're okay? And I went, yeah, I just got Fallout 4 and all this kind of stuff. And they were like, why are you in the middle of the road? I went, don't care, I've got Fallout 4. But that launch was perfect.
It was like this is like they did everything so well. Like I remember the E3 as well. Just like I think I vaguely remember like they gave us like there was some gifts and stuff, so like we knew it was coming, and then Todd Howard did that amazing presentation. Because at that point, like I'd never made a YouTube video before, but the thing is when I was playing Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I always wanted my own player home. So in 3, you obviously do have your home, and in New Vegas you do a bit, but it's like some crappy hotel room. Whereas in Fallout 3, I spent ages like decorating or like carefully placing items
putting
in
the
my
junk
home.
in the right areas.
Yeah. And then when Fallout 4 dropped, I absolutely like threw myself into to the point where like I think it was a few months into the channel, like 6 months before I finally got around to finishing the game because I spent too much building. Fallout 4 through and through. It's so good. I love the characters. I've been streaming it recently, like replaying the thing again, and the nostalgia hitting me.
You.
Very good, very good. We just got Hancock finally and did a load of drugs. It's been vibes.
Who doesn't love doing a lot of drugs?
Especially
Sensible
with my boy
people.
Hancock.
That's
exactly.
Right. Sensible
love
people.
A little bit Psycho Jet.
Yeah, no, I've been shadow watching some of your stuff because most of the time I get home from work and I can't be arsed doing anything, which is a massive detriment. But yeah, no, Fallout 4. The first time I played it, it took me not that long to actually do the main campaign. Because normally when I get into a game like Fallout, I won't be that too interested in side quests unless it's got something shiny. If it has something shiny, I'm all over that because I'm a pirate. So as soon as I see shiny, I'm like, I'm there. Which was funny when I did the railroad quest and got the deliverer. I was like, this 10mm that looks like a Walther PPK, I'm in, let's go.
Nice.
But when I finally started getting into the settlement stuff, which Fallout 4 was the thing that probably like you got me into doing settlements. I downloaded a bunch of the mods that had come out like a year after, and at the drive-in, because I had the build anywhere mod, so you could literally build anywhere. I built a 1-to-1 scale of the Starship Enterprise.
Nice.
And yeah, my game ran at like 10 FPS because of it, because of all the stuff. It had lifts to get up to different floors and all this kind of crap. This was before I did YouTube and stuff. And I left that save for like half a year, came back, and everything had been corrupted because the loading in was just too big that it had to load in the Enterprise. So, but after that, I just caught the Fallout bug, and then of course when 76 came out, one of the first people to start making content on it. It's just I love it.
No, it's such a good game.
And of course, if through the smoothest transition I have possibly ever done in my entire life, what are your thoughts on 76?
I like Sunset. So 76, and my stance on 76 is it's a very, very good community game.
Yes.
It's maybe not the best multiplayer game ever. And I've realised this after playing a lot. So, for example, I've tried to stream 76 with friends, and you can usually get an hour, maybe an hour and a half out of fun stuff, and then you're like, well, what do we do now? Because it's not got like a gameplay loop. I love 76. I think it's an amazing community game, and I love that side of it. But it's more like like you don't actually play with your friends. You sort of talk about it together. If you get my point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with 76. Like it's not outside of like, because you can solo all the multiplayer content, with the exception when they have actual like Fashion Act and things like that. But it's just like the actual actually doing the multiplayer stuff. I have to really try hard to think what to do. Like, so I do. I occasionally join the Bethesda the UK stream, right? So like every now and again, on a Friday, like I think 1 p.m. UK time, I'll get on with usually the crew is me, Helsley Twitch, Final Render, and then Volta Daedalus, Rob from Bethesda, and we'll play for about an hour. And an hour is the perfect amount of time. But like I'm always impressed with those people who manage to do like multiplayer stuff with it, because I can't do it, which is a shame, Loveway.
like doing, the one thing on 76 that I'll never understand when it comes to like doing the multiplayer stuff is the people who like, oh yeah, we're just gonna spend the night doing, we're gonna start with the Earl, and then we're gonna do, like a silo, and then we're gonna nuke the Queen. I'm like, what?
Mm.
I can't even do Earl. I can't hurt Earl on my
Yeah.
character. My character can't hurt Earl whatsoever, and I'm just like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I do sometimes play with. I've done a few like stuff with friends, but generally I always play it solo. Like, I've got quite a good build, so I solo the daily ops. I only do Earl with friends because fuck that. It's a really shit fight. I hate it so much because he's too tanky, and they deliberately don't give you enough time to harvest all the resources afterwards, which is just utter bullshit. But yeah, no, I really like the game. I think it's got a great community. I just don't think it's a very good multiplayer game. I think it's slightly because Bethesda didn't know what they wanted to do with it. Um,
This is the one thing that back when all those videos were coming out with, oh, Fallout 4 is, it's trash, don't play it, all this kind of stuff, which was funny because the thing that they kept reporting on was the PC version of it only. They didn't touch console stuff, which is kind of weird. They were just like, oh, it's got all these bugs and all these, glitches and it doesn't work. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the PC version. I have none of this on the PS4, which was weird. But back when that was coming out, people were not reporting on the fact that Fallout 76 is not a full game. And even now, Fallout 76 is not a full game. It is the multiplayer aspect of Fallout 4, which is the thing that people don't
yeah,
seem to understand.
yeah, and also people don't realize, and this is it's a bit of a sad way of looking at it. I love the game. I've enjoyed my time, and Fallout 76 is the one where I've started to socialize when I've got a bit more social with the
Yes.
community. But the thing about 76, it is a temporary thing. Like I think it's only got like a very small team assigned to it. It's an experiment by Bethesda. And simple like, oh, this is why I don't join the Reddits very much because they're like, oh, Bethesda,
Yes.
please do this, please do this. I'm like, they're never going to do that. 76 has maybe a year left in it, I think.
I'm thinking
Um,
the same. It's got what? It's got a few. It's got the pit coming. The pit
yeah,
DLC.
the expeditions.
There's not really much else I can see him doing after that, unless they want to try and do a last ditch effort and throw in, New Vegas and all that, and like the Mojave.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's not. It has a shelf life.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a good game. It doesn't matter.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of games do have shelf life. That's absolutely fine. It's not going to be an ESO. It's not ESO. I
no,
remember, I remember playing ESO beta in 2013. That's how long ESO has lasted, and it's still going very strong.
I don't think I've
Which
ever
is
touched ESO.
It's good. It's pretty good. I don't have the time to play it as much as I'd like. I logged in the other day, and because I have a membership with it, I had 9,000 crowns, which give you an idea. That's basically that you get the exact number of crowns as you get atoms for the monthly. Like you get 1,680, and I hadn't
Right.
played it for like nearly a year, and so I had like.
Oh yeah,
No, I had 9 months, so it's like maybe 6 months actually, and I had
stacked up.
literally 6 months as yeah, and I spent it all on the crates if you get random, and I got nothing cool. Literally, I spent all of those crowns on the crates, and I got fuck all. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed my time in 76. Obviously, I'm excited for what they do next. I hope Starfield has building. Otherwise, what am I gonna do with my life?
Yes,
Um,
I'm 100% there. I love games that have aspects of building, but as a like an attachment to, of course, the question thoughts on Fallout 76. What do you think of its? I don't want to say its development because technically its development was we can't fit this into Fallout 4 quick. Let's figure something else out to do with it. But since beta, let's go with that. I don't know if you played alpha. I don't think anyone actually played alpha apart from in-game testers. But if you from beta to now, how do you think the not only its development but the interaction between the player base with itself and then of course the player base with Bethesda itself, because we know that what's his face, I want to call him Dave for some reason. He's not called Dave, but I want to call him Dave, the person who gave away the position of his camp and he got nuked, whose
mm.
name escapes me. But we'll call him Dave. So Dave, trust me, I'll put in a little annotation of it is right now if I
I've
remember
done that
to it.
before. Don't worry.
Oh
My
yeah,
brain gets messed. I've mined like a sieve.
but he's a high up in Bethesda. He's jumped on streams with people before. I remember way back, he was on streams with like the camp building associations, all those
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff, and I also fell in love on a camp building stream with Kate from Fallout 4. I fell in love with her.
Ah, nice.
She's a beautiful Glaswegian goddess. But how do you think, since its inception through beta, where the community has finally had a chance to get their hands on it, up to now, up to the latest update, how do you think Fallout has fared? How do you think it's come along?
I mean, think it's done fine. Like, I always kind of like, and again, this is maybe I'm definitely a glass half filled kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm an annoying little optimist. So the thing for example, when they break stuff, I don't tend to get bothered by it. A lot of people do, but the thing is, they generally fix stuff
Pretty
quite
quick.
quickly. I will say that like it's obvious that they do have a limited resources.
Limited staff as well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I think if they had, because you can tell with like the way some things don't necessarily work properly, or you have to like use glitches to get certain
Yeah.
things to work properly because it hasn't been designed very well. I think they've done really well. Like, I think a great example, right, where they've done. Actually, I'll say where they've done poorly. Is the Atom Store was a bit of obviously a mixed reception, but they've almost bizarrely just not made stuff available in the App Store that would make them loads of money.
Yes.
And that's for me, I find very, very odd. Like the amount of content we got in the App Store is pathetic. Like if you ever get a chance to go ESO, you get during the quest you'll get a free player home, right? It's like a little apartment. Depending, you'll get one depending on which faction you get.
Yeah.
Go look through all the items you can have. You can physically have everything. Like it's all paid. You have to, and it fucking cost a bomb, mate.
Oh yeah,
actually,
I can understand.
my house literally cost me 60 quid.
What
In the
is
game,
wrong with you?
I was just payday. I put it on the credit card. I was like, fuck it. I think it was like I wanted to hit the item level, like I can't remember, the champion point kit cap, and I did. I was like, fuck it. I'm buying the house. Get my credit card. Boom. But anyway, you have everything, right? Like bowls with fruit, like literally any
Yeah.
item in the game you can get in their Crown store through the furniture purchasing menu.
So it's basically
Why doesn't
it's got what everyone has been wanting, which is like junk
Yeah,
decoration.
yeah, yeah. Bits and pieces, bits of fucking pieces. And, like literally, I remember scrolling through the fruit section. Like if you're bored, just install it just so you can look through it.
They have a fruit specific section.
Literally, I don't know it's called, but it's like I think it's the kitchen section, but it's just full of fucking fruit. Like there are several different kinds of apples you could get, and it's like in bowls and in little cups and shit like that. There's so much stuff, and it's made by ZeniMax, which is what 76 is, or is one of the team.
Yeah.
And then in 76, you have so little, it's insane. Like I have quite a bit. Mainly because I deliberately buy more or less every single pack that drops. But it's nothing compared, and for me that's the biggest disappointment of 76 in a weird kind of way, was the fact is that for some bizarre reason they just hated money so much.
Yeah, in the Atom Shop has baffled. Well, the one thing in the Atom Shop that baffles me is like, oh, we'll put something on sale. It will now be 182 or 183 atoms, and I'm like, why? Just round numbers all the time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
None of this stupid 83 atoms for something. And I also don't get why Bethesda, or well, the people who do the camp stuff don't like circles or don't like angles, like squares. Squares are the only thing
Yeah,
they
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. It's really, really weird because I remember back before 76 dropped, I played a bit of Conan Exiles, and that's the one I always remember.
I remember that.
And yeah, yeah, and okay, this is a. I don't think actually, I think it might actually have circles, but it had angled pieces, right? And it is and also I play a lot of Valheim as well, and similar kind of thing where you can sort of merge stuff together. The saying that someone did send me an amazing camp where they did a load of glitching the other day, which is quite nice. It had this like kind of little weird
Yeah.
hexagon shape. But yeah, yeah,
I haven't played much of that Valheim. The only thing I've really done is discovered that physics is a very fun way of chopping down trees because you chop down a
yeah.
big tree and it chops down little trees.
Oh yeah, yeah, all the labs, and then you'll get crushed by one of the trees as well.
Yes.
Lol, because you forgot to eat, so you only have 20 health. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I think communication's been quite good for what they've had. They've done very well. I'm just almost flabbergasted at the fact that I refuse to believe that it would take much effort to just make loads of item packs, and I'm surprised they haven't done it.
This
And
is
also, just I'd add as well, I'm annoyed that they rely on FOMO quite a lot
this
when
is
it comes.
this is something I've actually brought up before, and almost like the problem with the Atom Shop and content in it almost made me write them an official letter from me to them. But what I don't get is, so Fallout 4 obviously has the mod stuff where people on the PC, like we've seen, you can have Fallout 3 outfits and stuff that have been ported over to Fallout 4. Why isn't it that they don't have every month they open up post out information on Twitter like, hey, we want some stuff for the Atom Shop. Have you got a fun idea? Like, because Fallout 76 still runs on the same engine as Fallout 3, which is funny because Bethesda has done barely fuck all to fix with that. It's like, it works, I get it, but it's still a really outdated engine, which is pretty funny.
It works.
It works. It just works. There we go.
Insert
we
God Howard's
we
emoji.
slid
Yeah.
it in. He came. God Howard came out of nowhere and put the words in my mouth. But yeah, I don't get why they don't just reach out to the community and say, hey, we're holding a community contest. The top 3 people get this, but what we want you to do is come up with bundle ideas and we'll put them in the item shop. Like that, it would solve all of their content problems.
Yeah.
I also came up with mini bundles. Mini bundles would benefit because if you think about it, if they're putting out a bundle every week, it's always a big bundle. It's always like a select different amount of items, and then of course, they've got the let's just regurgitate some items onto the player base. Like with the recent one that came out on Tuesday, which was just some things that you might have missed. But if they did, if they did mini bundles of an outfit, a weapon skin, and like maybe a camp item or something like that, it would give the team that works on that kind of stuff to make a really big, really in-depth bundle that they can release either once a month or twice every fortnightly. And then just do mini bundles in between, because you can have one person work on a mini bundle while the rest of the team. And I don't. There's so much stuff that they could have done to not revolutionize the item shop, but like bring it up to snuff instead of just having it, spew out something good every couple of months.
Yeah, it's genuinely quite bizarre. I will say credit's due. The last few bits have been really good, especially the Halloween themed stuff. Like that building set is. I hope my subscribers hope they don't like it, because they're gonna be seeing that every fucking week.
Yeah, I do like the nice leaf decoration, especially the fact that
so good.
Fallout began on Halloween. As we saw in Fallout 4, so it's it's quite nice that we get some. And yeah, it's the only. I'm thinking about it now. It's the only building set that has 3-dimensionality to it, and I'm not just saying as in a wall is of course it's 3 dimensions. It has height, depth, and width. But it's got leaves on the side of it which stick out, so it's got that extra bit of, It's the only camp item for like a wall or whatever that I can think has that.
Yeah. What I like about it as well, and I guess this is obviously on a tangent. We've kind of
we've been on a tangent for a while.
Yeah.
About it.
But like, what I like about this, and I mentioned in my videos, is that I like how it's Halloween themed, but it's not overtly so. So it actually just looks like an old building. It looks like an old building in autumn. That's it. It just looks like an old building in autumn. Boom. Bosh. Loves it. So like, it doesn't. They've deliberately they haven't made it overtly spooky.
Yes.
The point where it's like that, it just looks like an old building. And considering this is the apocalypse, 25 years after the bombs dropped, wherever it is, it works so well, and I really like it. But yeah, my overall point is that I think they've done fairly well with what resources they have, and I imagine the reason why we don't get all these item packs is more of a bureaucratic one inside,
possibly,
rather than necessarily just some very stupid person. Don't forget, because they're a big ass fucking company.
Oh yeah,
and I've worked for big ass companies, and. So the company I work for recently got bought out by a much bigger company, and you can see the speed they work with is significantly slower than us, and they're not that big. You get my point?
Yeah.
They're not Bethesda big, so it's just like, yeah. I can imagine that's probably the main thing. It's just red tape, and also just they're a bigger company, so they move a lot slower.
Yeah, no, I bet you there is like, if anyone from Bethesda who works in the Atom, in the Atom stuff is listening right now. One, hi, how are you? Thanks for giving some good stuff. And 2, I bet you
like and subscribe.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. But I bet you they will they most likely have meetings to sit down and say, what are we going to build? What are we going to put in this bundle for this month, or what bundles are we going to make? And they'll sit down with a bunch of people, and I bet you one person in that room goes, I want to put this in, and they go, someone will go, we can't really do that, can we? Because it does this, or it does this to the game, or blah blah blah, and it would have been, it would be really good. It would like add a bit of extra life back into 76, which it's slowly losing, like it's having its heart ripped out of its chest during Temple of Doom. But I bet there's that one person, and if they're listening, I love you. But they're probably just like, can we do this? And do you know what? I know what will happen. When Fallout 76 is on its way out, when it comes to the end of its shelf life, we will see stuff we wanted in the game forever, and they'll just be like, don't matter, we're putting out a new Fallout or we're putting out something else, and we don't give a shit about Fallout 76 anymore, and we'll just start dropping everything like that, and people will start coming back to the game, and it'll be like, why did you do this, years ago? And the one person there will be like, I can finally achieve my dream, and then they'll just ascend and disappear into a different thing.
Glorious. Yeah, it'll probably coincide with
Yes,
with Starfield, I think.
it.
To be honest.
I cannot remember the other ones.
Yeah. Well, Starfield. The reason why it's Starfield specifically is Starfield is their other Elder Scrolls Fallout game. If you get my point.
Yeah,
it's not like,
I saw the,
it's not Doom. It's not Deathloop. It's not Ghostwire, which incidentally I'm so fucking excited for. Good lord. But it's their new attempt at, I guess, their own new
franchise.
RPG. Yeah. And I think that's why I think Starfield, because Starfield, the one thing I really like about Starfield is I'm looking at Starfield going, this is the engine the next Fallout's going to be on, which is very exciting. Which is why I want
I'm casting
gameplay
doubt towards that right now.
Definitely.
This is the game that the next Fallout's going to be on, and Todd Howard this is just X to doubt.
Yeah, possibly, but no, generally, this is their new engine, so I'm curious to see how it functions.
And I hope there is space station building in it, because if there's space station building in it, I'm there. I don't give
space station building, or let me make a colony, anything.
Let me design a spaceship.
I'm hoping. What I'm hoping is that they've identified the building as such a huge element of the community that they therefore stick to it. That's my big hope.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, probably. And this is my guess, around 2023, we'll get the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, probably. It's most likely in the works right now, maybe halfway through development.
Yeah. So currently right now, and again, go randomly a tangent because we're just...
no, don't worry. It fits. It still fits within the parameters of the question, so we can just keep
very good. But we're kind of in what I would describe as a quieter period in 76. I think it would be fair to say, right?
Yeah,
and I think it will... And I think it will jump up again, probably next year during the expeditions. I think, especially the pit, I think is going to draw a lot of people back, but then it'll die. But I'm really curious how, for example, you and myself probably will, assuming it has building, we will probably move completely over to Starfield when it drops, and that's going to be weird because I remember moving fully over to 76. It was a very strange vibe. It was like, oh, I'm not playing that game I played for so long. I guess, and I'm going to do that with Starfield. I'll probably always do Fallout 4, mainly because it's going to take me decades to finish all my mods. But moving over to Starfield, and then also we're going to move over to the next Elder Scrolls game.
Well, you will.
Well, I will certainly. Probably, and it's very, very weird thinking. I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, okay, I'll just quietly do my shit for the next 12 months. How exciting! And I'm very excited.
No, I understand you moving from one game to another, because when I moved over to 76, not permanently, but when I started playing it, I was like, oh, that's a cool thing on the floor. Hold X, and I want to pick it, and then it was like, why is it not picking it up? And then I going to X, and it just straight into my inventory, and I'm like, what? I can't move objects.
I can't move raider heads onto nightstands.
Yeah,
this is absolute bullshit.
What's this? I can't bend this corpse over a barrel and give it a good spanking. What's going on?
This is literally unplayable, honestly, at this point.
Refund now. Come on.
Anyway, next question.
Well,
what is it?
The next question, funnily enough, is what would you like to see added to 76?
I'll be more specific. Actually. Yeah. So I can do that a lot. So my thing is, I want more neutral decoration item. So if anyone's used my mod, I actually love those little brown crates, right? So I want more brown crate.
You are hitting on my funny bone right now, my friend. Because
I love those little brown crates. They're not storage boxes; they're just brown crates, right? And I want little stuff like that. I want brown crates. I want traffic cones. I want little loads of little bits.
There are people. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video or listen to it because whatever. But I know everybody's just busting a nut right now. You're like yes.
It's no nut November, guys. Come on, you can do it. I'm sorry to speak the sexy words. But yeah. There's just loads of little bits and pieces I'd like. Little decoration stuff. I'm not too bothered about too much of the real junk decoration, but what I would like is more kind of
displays.
neutral junk, like not junk, but like debris decoration. So like,
Miscellaneous.
yeah, misc stuff that I can just sort of just place around. Like those crates are sort of my thing. But
Yeah.
also like, I know, for example, there's you can actually, it's an asset because I use the creation kit all the time, right? So like I know what the assets are. So for example, you know those little wind chime canned that when you go into a radio area and it's trapped and it's got the cans
Oh yeah.
dangling from the
Yeah.
wire. Yeah, that's just a full asset. You could just have that.
Whoa.
I'd love that. Why can't we have that? It's in the creation kit. You just Google, you search its name and it comes up. And
Jesus Christ.
there's loads of little shit like that that I would absolutely adore.
Well.
Plywood. I love plywood so much.
And I loved the fact that they put in the boarded window asset stuff. For,
Yeah.
that was great.
I was more of that, please. Give me plywood.
I mean,
I want
like fix Fallout Worlds so we can actually put down an enemy spawn place and let me create what I wanted to create ever since I saw that. My own version of Nazi zombies inside Fallout. Let me, I want to do that. I want to be able to spawn feral ghouls continuously and just have them assault the thing and break the wooden window stuff out. Give it me Bethesda, because your Fallout Worlds is broken right now with its enemy spawning radius stuff. It was fucking.
So
I mean,
bad.
I appreciate the fact that I can build pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. What a disappointment. I remember wanting to like that. So I don't know if you've noticed. I made a big tweet thread on it. I don't know if you saw, but basically, so the building in Fallout 4, Fallout Worlds rather, is actually not the same as the shelters. It's a little bit different. And I don't know if you've tried it before. So basically, go into your shelter, right? In your normal adventure, go into your shelter and turn off snapping and like grab like, I don't know, some kind of wall-mounted thing, yeah, and move it to a surface. You'll be able to rotate it and move it and put it wherever how you like. If you do that in Worlds, even if you've got snapping off, it will try and snap to the surface.
Yep, I've noticed this far
broke
too much.
My fucking heart, because that slight, like that changing that 1 to a 0, which is effectively what probably happened, basically ruined the purpose of Worlds to me, because I remember trying to build I built in Watoga, right, because Watoga is the one place that you could probably build a cool home in Worlds, because even though there are mobs there, they're kind of like neutral mobs, assuming you've done the quest.
I haven't.
Really? Fuck no, do the quest, man.
No, I like walking into that place and having an assault try and rip me a new one.
Anyway, so I was building one of the roofs, and I noticed this. I noticed as well, like, for example, so again, and this is where you know you've built too much, right, in Fallout. Because you understand all of the the intricacies of how every single item operates. So, for example, right? So in my shelter, I have made custom shacks that are made out of like barricades and stuff randomly glued on. I fucking love it. Especially my one which in the cave. I adore that one so much. And I can, for example, take, say, a railing, that double railing you get in the defenses tab, and I can move that in my shelter, and I can turn off snapping, and I can just place that wherever I like. In Worlds, I turn off snapping, and that will always jump up to... So if I place it too close to something, it will snap up.
Yep.
Even though it's not snapping to it, it will move up. And just that little tweak basically just ruins Worlds. And also, as you said, alongside that, it's the fact is that Worlds has this... It basically doesn't despawn enemies. So even though you can technically, I'm using sarcastic quotey hands here, build anywhere, it's completely pointless anyway, because every decent place has super mutants or ghouls in it. Well, so it's not even bad.
That was the thing. During the trailer for Fallout Worlds, it was like, you can, custom spawn enemies and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, because when I saw that was like, I want to make a kind of survival thing where you are constantly just being, like, you have really low damage threshold, so it only takes a few hits to kill you. You have rare, like, ammo availability, so you have to be careful, but you've got some other stuff, and I was like, it'd be really cool to just have enemy spawn and try and look like an army of ghouls is trying to spawn and try and look for you or something like that. And then I went into the build menu, I was like, where's the enemy spawner? Where's the thing that they said we would build? And then you go, it's in the world settings, right? Okay. And it spawned, I put it to spawn Scorched or whatever was close to me. And it was like, yeah, it spawns five Scorched every half hour. And I was like, what? What
yeah,
is this?
like Worlds is such a disappointment. Anyway, you were asking about what I want them to add, so I want them to fix Worlds. They won't fix Worlds.
No,
they've already given up on it. Worlds is going to go the way of Nuclear Winter, unfortunately.
Nuclear Winter never bothered me.
Yeah, I'm shit at PvP, so I am fucking awful. I am so bad, and it took me a very long time to emotionally accept that. I am terrible. I'm a builder, not a fighter. You know what I mean? I make pretty houses.
I'm a sneaky asshole. I was always the person who would like on Nuclear Winter, spend as much time as I possibly could finding all the nuclear key codes, and then just wait until the ring was small enough and drop it so I had the monopoly on A, the high ground, and B, the teeniest tiny. Like, I literally gave myself enough room for my player to stand in, and I'd drop the nuke, and no one would live, and I would always. I'd win. So the few wins that I have are pretty much that.
I won twice, and it was me, Final Render, Psycho Girl, and it was when many a true nerd joined us.
Ah.
And we were, I think it was with him, and we were in, and we got to the point where there was one person left, and we couldn't find them, and the fire thing was like, the fire ring was like,
close.
20 meters kind of in each way kind of thing. It was tiny, and it turns out they were just hiding behind a tree and we couldn't see them.
See, it was fun stuff like that.
Yeah, that was good, but I'm fucking awful.
And
like
hackers,
I'm so bad.
Even on PS4 we had a lot of hackers.
I haven't experienced much hackers, but I didn't play enough, so like you know what I mean.
You missed out because sometimes you'd be like having a really good game and then you'd die and you'd be like, oh, someone must have just got me, and then it cuts to the kill camera and they're running through the air.
Oh, and they've just used like an aimbot.
Above, yeah, they're like 700 feet above the map, just running through the air continuously and shooting stuff. But back to we're going off on tangents, and we're what are we? We're like 36 minutes into this now, so let's.
Oh yeah.
God, so real quick fire for this question. What would you like to see added to Fallout 76? Give me 3 examples. It can be you fixing something you've wanted in the game for a while, or something you just think should be in.
I'll do 2 things right away. I really want them to add the Free State bunkers as shelters.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to do it. That would be amazing. And also, you know that thing where it when you try and place an item and it's green and it says you can't place this item and it says it's glowing. I want to find who created that and have them executed. I want to see their execution live in game.
Oh, I'm happy with that. If I was to throw something in that, I would be like, remove the detection for wallpaper when there's no wallpaper on the wall. Which, if people didn't know, if you tried to place something on a wall, as in, let's say, a set of curtains, and it snaps to it, but it turns up red, that's because it's detecting wallpaper that doesn't exist because the wallpaper has a hitbox on the wall.
It just works.
Yeah, it just works. Now, I do have 2 final questions. And they do kind of link together, so it probably won't take us too long. But the second to last question is, what are your current YouTube exploits? What's going on your side of the field that you might want to get out there and let people know about if they've made it this far into the video? Which
what do you mean, like YouTube, as in like being a creator?
Yeah, like what's coming up on your channel? What's some of the fun stuff that you want to do? You know, in the future, what are you planning on? Because I know everybody will be moving to different stuff. I've moved off just doing basic Fallout content now. So what's coming down the production line on your channel?
Basically, I took a bit of a hiatus in the summer, just more of mental health. I needed a break from the streaming specifically as well. So I'm now streaming kind of like exclusively back on YouTube, you know, given all the nonsense that happened on Twitch. So I'm going to be streaming potentially, hopefully, I'm a bit worried because it's a survival game. I'm streaming The Long Dark. I tend to play that once a year.
That is a good game.
We're streaming The Long Dark probably in December. One of my favourite games. Next year, I do want to sort of shake up my content a bit more and try and get back into the rhythm of doing videos on non-Fallout games. If you're ever bored, just go to my channel and search by most popular, and you realise most of my most popular aren't actually Fallout at all. They're like, The Long Dark is one of my most popular videos, and embarrassingly Fortnite, but that was before it became the thing it is now.
Yeah,
and Frostpunk as well, and then the Frostpunk.
Oh my god, Frostpunk, yes.
Yeah, so like this year's been a little bit of, and I think for a lot of us, has been a little bit of a weird year. Weirder than 2020 for me, I'm utterly honest. So I want to get back in the habit of doing guide content on non-Fallout stuff. So like, I don't think I've done, I remember checking earlier actually, I don't think I've done a non-Fallout guide video in absolutely, I think the last one might have actually been the last Frostpunk expansion, but I'm not actually too sure.
I think I saw something like that similar, because when I was playing the last autumn on PS4, I was checking out some of your videos as well, because I do Frostpunk content as well on the sly every now and then.
Yeah, no, actually, I just checked on my last, ignoring the streams, my last non-Fallout guide video was actually on Valheim, and they did quite well. I mean, okay, some of them did shit, but some of them did okay. Um, but like, I just sort of want to get in the habit because one, it's fun, and also because yeah, there we go. My top 5 videos are 2 Fallout 4 videos, a Frostpunk video, a Long Dark video, and then another Fallout 4 video, and then the sixth is a Fallout 76 video.
Well, there we
So
go.
yeah, I wanna start doing stuff like that because they're quite fun. Like I said, the Long Dark video was literally it's an hour and 40 minutes video, and it was one of the favorite videos I've ever done because it was just me going like, guys, because it's one of those games that I really really like, and I just wanted to show people like, yeah, I'm good at this game. Let me show you how I play it. And it was just so vibes. I want to do it again.
Yeah, I do. I do like the long dog. I tried doing that on YouTube at some point, but I realized me talking to myself in a survival situation like that, I come out with really weird stuff, which might not be suitable for putting on YouTube, and does make me sound like a crazy person. So yeah, I cut that off pretty damn quick.
Oh,
And then, of course, for the final question, which does tie into this year, what are your goals for Fallout for Hope? Which, if people did not know, the 4th of December to the 19th of December, me, norespawns, and 300 plus different streamers and content creators are all coming together working with St.
Mhm.
Jude's Charity for St. Jude's Play Live to raise money for as much money as we can. Now, I've got a poster that I'm working on for the content that I'll be doing over the rough fortnight. But what are you going to be doing? What are your goals? How much do you want to try and raise, and what's some of the stuff that we can see coming down the pipeline?
I don't know how much I'm going to raise. See, with me, I'm using this as one because it's a great cause. I'm going to use it as an excuse, to be honest, because I have quite social anxiety, right? Like this may seem surprising, but I have very big social
Oh yeah,
anxiety.
no,
I'm using an excuse to actually play with people I've wanted to play with a long time.
there we go.
So there's quite a lot of people, because obviously I'm assuming you're part of the same Discords as me. And there are
Several,
quite a few
yeah.
people like, yeah, and we're just like, I was like, I remember us talking about it. I was like, yeah, let's play games together. I'm like, because I usually do stuff on my own. I'm used as an excuse to raise money for a good cause, but also maybe start just playing Fallout and dicking around with mates. I'll try. I'm going to deliberately try and stream a lot more during this period as well. So at least kind of like maybe twice a week or something. And also because it's December, so my company, the one I work for, is a bit quieter in December, so I should be able to kind of, for example, book holiday off without any issue and just
My
vibe,
plan as
really.
well.
Yeah, like I don't really know what money wise. I remember when I did the last one I did was Australian bushfire relief, and we were playing Resident Evil 4
I'm good you
or
weren't
one of
playing
the.
Firewatch.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a good game though.
It
Incidentally,
is.
very
It
good
is.
game. Fucking like very good game. But yeah, no. I think we had about $500. That was like a couple of people. One thing I will do is donate a like maybe 100 quid or something
Yeah.
myself straight off the bat, so people don't kind of think I'm being a stingy twat. Because I realized afterwards when I did the last one, I was like, oh, I should have probably donated money myself. It looked a bit bad.
Yes,
But
I
yeah,
know
no.
well.
Money wise, I don't know. I think yeah, no, it's just yeah, I'm just quite excited by it actually, and also like I haven't because when I joined the stream team with these guys who are all amazing by the way, Chad Podcast especially
Yes,
is
Chad
one of my
is
favorite
off the
one
charts.
of my favorite people. And when I joined them, it was just when I roughly started my hiatus, so I just went super antisocial. So I'm like I sort of like on the one hand it's a good cause, but also I kind of feel I owe it to them because I've just been like not doing anything, and I'm like, I need to get involved because I'm like, and I'm using sarcastic quotey hands here, the bigger channel. I'm worried I come across as aloof, and I'm not. I was just depressed during the summer, so I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Oh,
Um,
I know that feeling. Trust me.
yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not being aloof. I'm just sad. It's summer.
I'm taking time off. Leave me alone.
It's summer. I'm single, but I can't leave the house. It's shit.
Yes. No, it's for those that didn't know, this will be the second time Fallout for Hope has been a thing. So don't worry if you were like, I've never heard of this before. It's relatively brand new. I think last year when I did it, I only managed to raise like £200 or something like
Good
that.
money. Good money. Good money.
Yeah, it's still good money. Every penny counts. So if there is currently a pre-fundraiser going on right now, which there will be a link to in the description down below, so you can go check that out. And if you
Mm.
do feel like donating, go ahead and donate. Vastly appreciate it. Let's try and raise as much as we potentially can. And if we could raise more, way that's even better. I think if I was to set a goal, I would try and raise 500. I'm I'm a teeny tiny channel on YouTube,
Mhm.
so I'm not like, yeah, let's raise. I will single handedly raise £7,000. Yeah, not possible unless I sold my soul as as an actual thing. Like highest bidder gets my soul.
I might take it. If I'm not that much, I'll give you 50 quid for it, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a soul, mate. I'm aiming for like a couple of grand on that. But no, I've got some fun stuff coming along, and some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing is actually some of the stuff that me and you enjoy doing in our off time, which is mini painting. I'm going to be doing some Wasteland Warfare stuff, which is going to be fun.
Nice.
And
I did.
those are going to be like I know I'm going to be doing the NCR Trooper from New Vegas with the massive anti-material rifle, but each one that I do will be either sold off or given to the highest donors, just as a little bit of a thank you from me to help raise some people, help raise the money, because it's a good cause. But if people wanted to know those again, that is the 4th to the 19th. That entire period is when 300 plus streamers and content creators will be raising as much money as possible, and let's aim for a really good Christmas for these kids because they fucking deserve
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I think the charity I checked the other day because I'm part of their Tiltify, and I think they've raised like over 100 grand or something.
For
Like
the
they've
for the
raised
pre.
yeah, it's like so far, and it's insane. Like 100 grand, that's a lot of money, everyone.
Yes,
That,
that
that
is.
that's a rather large sum. And yeah, it's a generally good cause. I'm like, and also it's December, and I don't know if you know this, but I'm like the most festive person ever. I fucking love Christmas.
I hate everything. Bah
No,
humbug.
I'm the opposite. Because I'm goth as shit, and you think, oh, you're gonna hate Christmas. Nope. I am. As I'm talking to you right now, I've already got my Christmas PJs on. Oh yes, son.
That's
Loves it.
nope. I hate Christmas. I hate Halloween. I hate every. I don't even celebrate birthdays, man.
Oh, no, I'm the complete opposite. Give me a holiday to celebrate. I'm
Nope.
all over that shit. After I finish talking to you, I'm going to turn my fan back on and I'm going to put on my Christmas jumper in the 6th of November.
Yeah, I'm
Gifted.
sick and tired of seeing Christmas stuff already. But it has been fun having you on. We don't want to.
Mhm.
We don't want an hour. Fucking Jesus Christ! People will not last for an hour. Of this 40 minutes
Yeah.
is probably good enough stuff. But it has been fun having you on and sitting down and talking again because we haven't talked since we played
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight a while ago.
It was a while. Yeah, it's been good.
But before we sign off, is there anything you want to say to the folks at home?
Just yeah, definitely tune in during the Fallout for Hope streaming. It's going to be really good fun. So I'm going to try and get loads of new people on my channel who I haven't played with before. I'm going to make a very active effort. And yeah, it'll be good. I'm quite excited, and I'm just excited for this stupid year to end, though. 'Cause
Aren't we
2020's
all?
been weird. It's fucking weird.
I'm waiting for Jules Holland's Hootenanny at the end of the year.
Yeah, we're free.
Which was
when Jules plays that piano, we're free. Yeah,
which was
that's the sign we can leave.
probably recorded like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah,
Because it's not live. But thanks for joining me, everybody home. Thanks for watching. I hope you made it through this far. If, and here's the big if, and please do not write me an essay, but because some people do. If you've actually had any thoughts and feelings that you've thought on any of the topics that we brought up during the video, one, you can comment down below your thoughts and feelings, and if you do want to write an essay, well, you can head on over to No Respawn's channel and put it in his comment section because it ain't going in mine. But thank you to No Respawns for joining me on an interview with. Thank you to everybody at home for watching the episode of an interview with. It's good to get back into it, and as I say at the end of every video, you guys know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Anything you want to say before we go?
take care, guys. That's all I have to say. Have a good one.
See you guys in a bit.